Hey guys, without further ado, I think we should continue our programming session. Actually took a little break and I'm totally refreshed and ready to get down and dirty with the code. So right now we've got the basics for we've got an input manager that takes in the input and sticks into buffers. We haven't run it on the device yet, so maybe that's a good, pretty soon we should test to make sure nothing's crashing. Actually, it's a great opportunity to do that right now. But I think, yeah, I'm just gonna try that real quick. Because you want to do incremental debugging rather than debugging this huge chunk, or at least I do. So let's see. Yeah, it takes a little while to recognize it. So yeah, there we go. It's recognized my iPhone. And you're gonna need the Skype video, I think. Yeah. Right. So, looks, it says build succeeded. The thing should be loading up pretty soon. Actually, there should be no visible change. Now that I think about it. Well, let me try that one more time. Since I've force quitted the Voicer app. It's the name of this project. Okay. Now debugging, and we get a white screen and no debugging output whatsoever. Oh, there we go. Okay. So now we're going. It's running. Yeah, it doesn't crash immediately. Yeah. Anyway, I think that's good enough for now. So the next thing we want to do is actually have all the code that we wrote have some effect. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch back to my coding session. I don't think we need the video anymore, so I'm taking that out of the way. So what do we got? In our input manager, we have an update call. It doesn't do any real analysis yet, but it does save all the buffers. I mean, it does start throwing out old buffers that are older than, what is it, 5 seconds, right? And I think, yeah, that's a good point to do a printf. It happens at the rate of a callback. So it's not really a big deal to stick a printf in here. And we'll just say, throwing out old buffer at time %. This is a uint 64, so it'll have to be, is it ULL? I think it's ULL. Unsigned long. Yeah, that sounds right. And that is called input buffers I timestamp? No, host timestamp, right, as you can see in the above lines. So we're going to recycle that line and make sure we put it above the delete. It'd probably work anyway. I don't know, it's debug, so you might get an error. I mean, it'd be totally legal, but maybe the first couple would be okay, as the memory is not likely to get reallocated so soon. Yeah, that was kind of a needless tangent, but let's debug it now. I have to save. Yes, I've saved, and now in my What happened to my Mac side? Okay. Somehow the iPhone got unplugged. Yeah, so I'll bring the video back. This connector is not the best. Usually, yeah, I have to kind of fiddle with it and then it plugs back in. So it's going to be just a few seconds. We can marvel at the wonderful new Xcode 4 interface. I do have to say, although I'm really not used to the new shortcuts and functionality, it does look, I guess visually, a lot better than the last one. Well, it looks like interface builder, I guess. Okay, alright. So you can see the app is running. And we should start after 5 seconds. It's been about 5 seconds. Okay, we should start I'm gonna kill that bouncing ball. Okay. So we should be seeing delete messages, but we don't. That's kind of an issue. Of course. Don't you love when you do this? I completely forgot that we needed to call this function somewhere. That'd be good, huh? Input manager update. Where should that be called? I think there's a filter audio update already being called. I'm not sure. So is there an update call here? No update call. Interesting. So that's kind of a pain. We can call it in the main update loop, which is, I believe it's in filter engine or something like that. Okay, let's take a look what we got here. Filter sound. No, it's definitely not something like that. Input manager, audio mixer. Could be an audio mixer, but I really don't know. It doesn't sound right. Let me see. Let me check one thing really quick. In the callback, what do we say? Filter audio mixer, write to buffer. Okay, let's check out the audio mixer. I bet there's update call there. That's sound related. Okay, we got instance, write to buffer, and play now, and update. Okay, so there is an update here, and hopefully it doesn't get called by that callback. Anyway, I don't think this is the best place either. I would rather put it in the main engine. I can't remember what I called it. It's been a little while since I wrote this class. The main engine. Maybe it's in classes. Yeah, it's probably in here. Filter game engine. That sounds about right. So game engine, update call. So here we do sound manager updating. This is a great place to put our input manager update. So that is a C++ class. I should probably change filter audio mix to a C++ class. The reason for that is these dispatch messages. You see the Objective-C messaging system. It's not compiled. It still looks things up at runtime and ends up being quite slow compared to a C++ method. So even though I'm using an instance, a singleton structure, this ends up being a lot faster. Something like this. Yeah. So we got that saved. Let's go back and try rerunning that and see if we get. Okay. Parse issue. I only touched this one. Okay. Well, I obviously need to include this is kind of where it starts sucking. Because I'm not supposed to use C++ in an M file. So I'd have to convert this to an MM file, and then it would eventually have to convert a lot of things to MM file. Yeah, but this is a pretty major class, so I think it's worth doing that. All these things you do have to worry about. So the other thing I could do is write a wrapper function in C, but actually that's not a bad idea. But this being one of the major classes, I don't think that's so great. Yeah. I think I will want to use more C++ classes to replace these low-level, these mission-critical guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and convert that. It's a little bit of a pain. I mean, one of the drawbacks to using source control. How do you rename? Is it just enter? Yeah. One of the drawbacks to source control is the psychological aversion that you have to changing file names. And it's actually quite a big one, even though it's a pretty superficial thing when you first look at it. Okay, so I've called this MM file, and I believe Xcode will automatically do the right thing and treat that as a Objective-C++ file. Yes. I do have to change the mode to C mode, maybe? Yeah. Yeah, there we go. So now I have input manager included here. Looks like the project built and succeeded, and we are going to run it. So I don't know if you really need to see this, but I'm going to stick the camera over there anyway. So I have to take out the bouncy ball, because every time it hits a wall, I don't know if you can see, it's a debug message, and we want to clear that out for now. But I can see already we're deleting the old buffers once every time. Great. So looks like our update call works so far. We're not going to blow ourselves up with infinite memory leak. So that's a good thing. And now we can start analyzing stuff. Now I have to think a little bit. So what do we want to analyze exactly?